Hello and welcome to this introduction video of Dimension SwifTest for Salesforce, otherwise known as DS for SF. Here we will cover how to use the Dimension Hub and SwifTest application to organize, create, run and see the results of tests. With all our products, we're trying to ease the burden of functional testing and improve the quality of the testing that needs to be done during any project. In short, we're trying to help you run better, smaller, faster, and smarter projects. So let's start here with the hub. The products that a customer has licensed are listed down the left-hand side. Across the top, you can see a number of icons to make it easy for the user to get the most out of the products and interact with DWS. With these, users can do things like raise help desk tickets, download resources, or access training materials. Doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing with one of our products in the Dimension Hub, these icons will always be available to you. The hub is consistent, familiar, and easy to use. Now looking specifically at SwifTest and the dashboard, you can see graphically across the top what testing has been done by all users of all your projects. You can adjust the date range or pick a specific date and refresh as required. Below the chart you can see the projects and scenarios and test information. What you're seeing here reflects all of the work that has been done by all of the users of SwifTest. You can now easily flip through the different views on the right or use the filters at the top of the grid. And now let's talk about what framework we are providing to organize, manage and execute your testing. So what you're seeing here is a simple three-tiered project, scenario and test structure. This is a super powerful, flexible framework to support your scripting and automation needs. We are not opinionated on how you use the structure to meet your requirements. A project might be a testing event or it might be a catalog of tests for a particular area or system. There's no right or wrong way. It is really easy to copy and move tests around. An approach that we've seen work really well is where customers maintain a catalog of all their scripts. And then when a project starts, they copy the tests that they want from the catalog into a project. They do all the testing in that project, and after the project, if they changed or added any new tests, they can copy those back to the original catalog. SwifTest is a solution that helps you understand and plan what testing needs to be done during any project. With testing being done inside projects, you get an easy to access audit trail of all your testing. What's important to understand is that when you do your testing, you're doing that inside a project at the lowest level. You can report any test as a PDF, an Excel file, or a Word document. SwifTest is self-documenting. Now what you're seeing here is our SwifTest client. This is a Windows desktop application. It's really lightweight and it's only about 20 megabytes in total. It doesn't need to run on a developer machine, it just needs to be on a Windows machine. First thing that you notice is that we're seeing the same structure and data. The exact same projects, scenarios and scripts that we saw looking at SwifTest via Dimension Hub. The SwifTest client is how everything gets created and how testing is done. So to keep things simple, because this will be the first time that many of you are seeing the software, I'm going to run a simple test within a scenario within a project. So I've docked the test on the right and you'll see all the actions that's going to be executed as part of the test. So I'm pressing the execute test button and then executing the test. And on the left hand side it will open up a browser and start executing the login command. This will log into Salesforce using the pre-configured username and password. Once the page is loaded or logged in, it will click on the app launcher and then select the sales menu option. It will then go to leads and click on the new button to create a new lead. Now within this form, it's going to start filling out the form, like it's just filled in the drop down, the first name, the last name, selecting Jane Doe & Co. as the company, selects finance for the industry list, fills in a bunch of other drop downs and text fields, and then saves the form. and this will successfully have created a new lead. And then SwifTest will close the browser as it is a successful test. Now, if you go into the execution history, you can see SwifTest creating execution history and documenting the test results within the project as the test runs. You can see the results here. Just going to maximize. Okay, so here you can see the green ticks, the details of each action, and as well as the screenshot of each action. Okay, and that ran pretty quickly. And because the test is automated, it's repeatable and accurate every time. SwifTest saves times because scripts run much quicker than a human can enter, up to 60% faster. These are repeatable and accurate, so when the test was running, you may have noticed that the dates, amounts, all those kind of things were filled in on the browser on the left-hand side. In the test, these values were hard-coded in SwifTest on the right-hand side. However, this doesn't need to be hard-coded. SwifTest has two types of data. Data that can be stored when writing or running scripts. That is what the repository data stores are for. Or you can use more static data, things like dates, item numbers, etc. So when you create a batch, it saves the number and picks it up for later use. So one of SwifTest's key benefits is that data can be separated from your scripts, and data stores are just one of the many examples of this feature. So now I would like to point out that we have test queues. These are used to test end-to-end business processes, and the scheduler allows us to run the tests in the background at designated times. So here's an example of how a little unit test can be brought together to test the business process. So as you can see here, we have a test queue called leads, and what this will run, it will run these three tests right after each other. First, creating the leads using data store values, then editing the lead, and then when it's done, it will delete the lead. So now let's talk about how tests get created. So here I have again SwifTest on the right hand side and the application that we are testing, in this case Salesforce, on our left hand side. And the test I have partially executed up to this point where we're creating a new lead, and I will now add a new action to fill in the most required fields on the form. So I've added a new action, and now you can see here all the different actions that you have to interact with the Salesforce application. And for now, I'm just going to be focusing on the application form actions to fill in these required fields. So you will see here, it will give you the form controls that are available. And the one I'm going to start with is last name. And you will see, once you select it, it will be highlighted in red. I'm just going to put in a dummy last name and execute. And as you can see, it successfully added the last name, and because it executed successfully, it will be added to the test. Now let's do the same thing for the company. You can see it selects the next one, which is company, and we'll just name it company. Okay, and execute. And similarly, it fills that one out, and we'll do it the same for SIG code, which is the last required field. We'll execute that one, and it has been filled in. And now to submit the form, we're going to go to the click form control, and we are going to select the save option and execute. And there, these actions have been successfully added to the test. So I'm going to stop here. Hopefully you've seen enough to really whet your appetite. We can always dive deeper and spend more time in a follow-up detailed demo session. What you've seen today is a UI that is consistent, it's familiar and easy to use. A very powerful but flexible framework to support your scripting and automation needs. Swift is a solution that helps you understand and plan what testing needs to be done during a project. With testing being done inside your projects, you get an easy to access audit trail of your testing. SwifTest is self-documenting and saves time because scripts run quickly, up to 60% faster. Scripts are repeatable and accurate, and data can be separated from the scripts themselves. SwifTest is application aware, it's easy to use, it's powerful, it saves you time because it's easy to create and maintain scripts.